Good afternoon. Uh, this is my lecture for metal handling. In this topic, I will covering the topic robotic handling. In further lectures, I will be continuing this topic also. So, before this starting this topic, I have to discuss some previous knowledge of this robotics handling that we have studied in the theory machines, some mechanisms. Uh, we have learned about the manipulators, word, and in the sensors we have studied in the metrology measurement subject, and in the production subject we have studied some machines which were used for coordinate system measurement systems also was there. So what led us to come into the metal handling by robotics method? Previously, man used to load or unload the materials by the means of physical means. So they used to uh, hold the materials and put on the machines, and after the processing and completing all the processing work, used to unload that. That was taking a long time for putting and unloading the materials. That was a bit of painful work for the laborers also. So they have studied the time that that there is a loss of time in the production rate. So it was thought that to overcome this concept, so we have to introduce the working model of robotics handling system, in which we have the different in the manufacturing workplace we have certain work fields, that is sometimes we have to prepare the work, sometimes we have to handle it, and we have to place it, then we have to move it and transport it. That is some of the parts which is involved in the certain manufacturing workplace. So that was taking if you will compile all the time processing data, then you will feel that all the time taking, it was taking a bit of time for packaging and all the transporting method. So the robotics handling, what is suggests that metal handling is we can say that feeding of the parts and components into machines for the processing and taking them out is an important activity in a discrete manufacturing process, and this is known as a metal handling at the workplace. So we have definitions of material handling at the workplace. What we are doing the material handling at the workplace, that feeding the parts of the to the machines, into the machines, processing and then taking them out, and then dispatching them or processing them. This is called the material handling at the workplace. Material handling at the workplace may be defined as the handling of materials after it has been delivered for the use at the workplace and before it be again picked up as some conventional handling process and equipments to remove to the next operations. That is definition. Material handling at the workplace has long been neglected, possibly because they appear to be a minor part of overall system and does not always involve large expensive material handling component equipments. However, studies have proved that any doubt that in most of the manufacturing operations, handling of individual jobs takes more time than the processing the job. This is the right. If you are saying that the individual job process in manufacturing process is not long time, takes not much time, but the putting the job in the right place and placing the tool at the right point is the most important part of processing the job. So this process can be divided into different phases. So what will be the phases? First will be preparatory phases, that we have to prepare the material by unwrapping, by cleaning, or by some other means we have to prepare the material. So what it states that the handling materials is a workplace consists of bringing the material close to the or onto the workplace or the or machine, that is in the work floor area. You have to bring from the store area, you have to bring near to the production unit area, that is the main machine unit area. Then you have to unwrap the material or unpack the material, or you have to untangle the packaging, or cleaning of the material has to be done before the manufacturing or processing. So this is also preparatory method. Sorting and separating of the material, rearranging them and restacking them are the process of preparatory work in the workplace area. Next will be the process will be the after the preparatory work we are going to feed the material into machine. So what is the feeding? Placing or directing material close to the workplace or point of use is known as a feeding operations. So in the workplace area, if you are going to place or direct the material closer to the workplace or point of use, will be called as a feeding of the material. Now when we have done the feeding of the material, then we have to position it, that is by orienting the material to exact location, placing to fixtures, jigs of machines will be called as positioning. Manipulating handling of material during the actual manufacturing operation, that is handling the material during the manufacturing operations, that is turning of the parts, rotating the table, or by changing the tool, that will be called as a manipulating part. If you want to change the side of the workpiece to be finished, or some operation has to be done, that has to be done by the manipulating. Revolving, the taking the workplace consists of taking the out of the jig, removing process will be called as a removing the material out of the jigs and fixtures, keeping it as a position and moving into the next workplace. So we have discussed that first we have to bring the preparatory work. We first at the workplace we have to do the preparatory works. That is preparatory work can be done by cleaning or bringing the material to closer to the machines or workplace, by unpacking or and wrapping, yeah, untangling or cleaning the materials will be called as a preparatory works. Also, sorting of the material, separating of the material, and rearranging and restacking them is also part of preparatory work. And feeding will be called as the placing and directing closer to the workplace or point of use. That is feeding means a lever comes with the materials, and it's uh, uh, gives or hand over the material to the machinist who going to machine that. That is called feeding. What will be called a positioning? Positioning will be the part in which the placing into the fixtures or jigs will be called the positioning. Manipulating is called the manipulating part is that in manufacturing process we have to manipulate by feeding the tools, feeding the cutting rate, feeding the cutting velocity, or by changing the tool side, our tool changes, or by different operations. Also we can say by positioning the different locations also we can say that it is manipulating operation. Removing after the processing work has been done, so we have to take out the material from the jigs and fixtures and keeping the positions for moving to the next workplace, that is all removing. And transporting is the process in which the moving material uh, out of the workplace to the next workplace, that is storage, can be transferred. This nearly traditional or conventional materials handling process can be done by this method. So this will be a part of workplace, whatever the main process being conducted. We have discussed about that. Now we will come to the main definition of the robotics, which is will be discussed in this topic. So as per the Institute of America, it has been defined as a robot is a reprogrammable multifunctional manipulator. Robot is a reprogrammable multifunctional manipulator designed to move material, parts, tool, or specialized devices through the variable program motions for the performance of the variety of tasks. So, what are the operations we can do from the robotics handlings? What can be done by the robotics handling? Like spot welding, arc welding, metal handling, spray painting, assembly the parts, like handling of major jobs in industrial robots can be done by the industrial robots. Or I can say that example of automated guided vehicles. We have seen some vehicles that pick and place robots. They are picking and identifying the objects and are placing at the right place position. That is also a type of robotics handling. Now after the definition of robots, if anybody asks that what is definition of robots, we can say that uh, it's a pre-programmable multifunctional and manipulator designed to move the material parts, tool, or specialized devices. That is called robot. I can simply way I can explain the definition of robot. So what will be the definition of components of robot? There will be certain robots or component which will be the main part for functioning of the robot. If this not exist, that robot will cannot be functioning properly. What were the major parts of the component of the robot? First will be the manipulator, second will be sensory devices, third will be controller, and fourth will be the power unit conversion. So we will discuss a single point, that is what is manipulator. Manipulator we have studied in mechanical theory machines subject that a robot is made of, body is made of collections of mechanical linkages, right? So we have studied in the theory machine that a mechanism is made of several linkages in which is corresponded to or linked to one another motions. If one corresponds to another, that is connected to a joint, and open loop kinetic chain forms. The manipulator is capable of movement of various direction and does the work of a robot. Manipulator is capable of movement of various directions and does the work of the robot. It can conventionally be compared with the arm of the human. At the joint, individual link can either rotate, that is a revolute joint, or can make the translatory motion, that is a prismatic joint, by means of electric motors, that is by servo motors or by stepper motor, and by means of hydraulic or pneumatic cylinder method. So this combination of motion, the joint, the manipulator can achieve different desired positioning of the orientations. A manipulator can be many joints up to 8, and robot manipulator of 6 joints. A degree of freedom is considered quite versatile for the most robot tasks. We have known the definition of the degree of freedom. So in robots, 6 degree of freedom will be the a perfect versatile robot we call. A manipulator generally has 3 structural elements, that is the arm. If we divide the manipulator, that will structural element will consist of arm, wrist, and the hand, which is also called as an end effector or gripper. The end effector is individually designed to grip individual tools or job and simulate palm of a human arm. It can be considered end effector can be considered as gripper or hand, which is similar to our human hands, which is used by the human hands also. So this is the manipulator parts. So next will be our topic will be the sensory devices. So sensory devices, we know that sensors are the certain devices which are uh, given to the machines for sensing the lights or heat or fumes. So this is sensor. So sensors can be divided into 2 categories, that is non-visual type or visual type. Visual types, what we are in automated guided vehicles, we are giving the path by a strip method. They visualize with the reflection of light from sensors, and they along the path of radium it will move the robot. That is also visual method. And non-visual method, we can say that some transducer or ecosystem will be used for sound system will be used, so that it will be used for transmitting the signal to the machine. The elements inform the robot controller about the status of the manipulator. This is the element which is used to inform the robot controller what status of the manipulator, what the material had been pulled in the grip or is been reaching towards the material. That will be sensed by the sensory devices, and it will directly inform to the controller that it is very close to the reaching to the gripping to the material. It has picked the material, now it has to be moved back to the position. That will be done by the method of by non-visual sensors or visual sensors. Non-visual sensors provide information about the position, velocity, force, and connected to manipulator motions. The visual sensor, what does, is used for tracking an object, is recognizing and grasping. These are comparable to the senses like touch and visions. What does controller does? The controller. Robot controller generally performs the 3 functions, which are: first, initiation of the motions and termination of the motions, different kinds of desired sequence of specific point. At desired specific points we have to get the desired motions, storage of position and sequence of data in memory, interfacing the robot with the outside through the sensors. So controller always tries to initiate the motion and terminate the motions at the desired sequence. That is, if you want to make the drill, then it will start the drill, it will go to up to 5 on depth, and it will stop over there and it will return back to the original position. That is the initiation and termination. I will say that it initiated and terminated the work. Storage of the position sequence, it has to store the data that where it has to drill, that is by coordinate in XY coordinate at a position 3, 2, it has to drill, that is the positions he has to study, he has to keep in the memory. Interfacing the robot with the outside world, if there is certain vibrations happens, then the object may move, then it has to interact with the outside system that the object has moved to from certain position, so it has to be reoriented so that proper machining can be done. So that is the work of the controller. Now the power conversion unit will be the main important. It decides how much power is to be supplied for a particular work. If you want to make a gripping action or want to make rotating actions, some different force and torque has to be supplied from the motor. This programming, this is how the it will be converted with the help of servo motor or stepper motor. So this is power conversion unit. The component provides necessary power for the movement of the manipulator for doing the work. It has to be electrical power source and amplifies the feed from the servo motors, compressor or hydraulic jack pack. With proper programming of the robot controller, the manipulator can be used to undergo desired sequence of motions of linkages of the manipulator repeatedly and accurately, and thus makes the robot perform its desired tasks. Another advantage of the robot is that by changing the program, the manipulator can instantly change from one set to a task of another, thus making the flexible and versatile equipment. So in this lecture, I have covered this much only. So in the next lecture, I will be covering the lecture 2 and 3. Thank you.